Hi guys and welcome back. In today's video, let's find out on how guys feed on women's emotions. First of all, we know that guys or men are egocentric, but on the other hand, there are some men or other guys who normally feed on women's emotions. For example, you're gonna find that this man or this guy, he's got a girlfriend, he's got a fiance, he's got a wife, but he's still at the other side, he's got a female friend who he normally relies on emotionally. For example, this guy is going to tell this female friend about the negativities or anything that is happening between him and his girlfriend, his fiance, his wife. He'll go pour all this out to this female friend just because he's going to get emotional support from this female friend. So guys, let's go straight into this video and find out how these guys or men normally feed on women's emotion.
What if I told you that a lot of men do things, negative things to women, pull the rug from under women's feet to get an emotional response out of them? What if I told you that? A man will cheat on a woman and confess. And that woman will say, okay, she can have you. So what are we doing with the lease? Are we going to break the lease? Do you want me to call the landlord? What do you want to do? What's the plan? Huh? Yeah, what's the plan? What are we doing? Do you want me to break the lease? Like, what are we doing? You don't care? You're not upset? Well, you're entertaining someone else, so, They are so shocked that you're not going crazy. Because that was their goal the whole time. Is to get an emotional response out of you. Is to get you to react negatively, pushing, yelling, screaming, busting his windows out of his car. It was all a ploy. And when you react in a stoic way and you give no reaction and no emotions, he's going to start accusing you of cheating. He's going to say, you're cheating on me. There's another man involved. You don't really love me. This was all an act. I know you didn't mean it. No, it's a game. For a lot of these men, it's a game. You're in a game when you're dealing with them. And it's a game where you become a captive. They have you on a leash because they are constantly getting emotional responses out of you. And they feed on your emotional responses. It's fuel. Men love pulling the rug from under women's feet. They do it all the time. They love it. And you think they don't do it. You think they're not purposefully doing it. Oh yeah, they're purposefully surprising you negatively. They're purposefully pulling the rug from under your feet. They're purposefully abandoning you when you need them the most. It's all calculated because they want an emotional response out of you. And then when you don't give them the emotional response, they start to cry like a 6-year-old girl because how dare you not spiral out of control for me? How dare you not crash out over me? It's all one big game and women keep losing. So I'm trying to open up your mind.
Yes, ladies, these men, these guys really know how to play that game. They really know how to play their tactics very well. This is the reason why you find that some guys or some men, they normally feed on women's emotions. He'll just come up with a very petty question or just a silly question, or even trying to come and tell you that, I know you are seeing another guy, you've got another man in your life, just to try and test your emotional intelligence. And then, on the other hand, by answering your questions, he knows you're going to answer in a negative way or negatively. And he'll start pulling away slowly by slowly until he disappears. This is how a lot of men or a lot of guys normally feed on women's emotions.
A man will rely on his female friendships for emotional support or his female family members instead of going to actual therapy. And it's a huge problem. And ladies, we need to stop fucking enabling them. I just did a video yesterday about how men should not have friendships with women because usually there's an ulterior motive. A man will play the long game with a female friend. He knows you're not attracted to him, So he will hold on to the friendship for many years until you give him that opportunity to sleep with you. He will wear you down. He will play the long game. He will use you for emotional support. He'll run to you as his female friend and complain about all types of things. He might complain about his girlfriend, him and his girlfriend or his wife having problems at home, and he needs your advice. He might complain to you about a female coworker or one of his exes, his baby mothers. He's using you for emotional support. Hell, he might even talk about the women in his family, his mama and sister, talk about them like a dog to you because you're his female friend. He's using you for emotional support and trauma dumping on you behind the friendship. He needs to take his motherfucking ass to the therapist. That's where the fuck he needs to be. In a therapist chair, a psychologist chair, venting his frustrations with women, his mama, his sister, his baby mama, his wife, whoever. He does not need to trauma dump on his female friend. Because let me tell you something, ladies. It's all a manipulation game. Yeah, that's why he keeps female friends. He has a wife or a girlfriend. Maybe you know about her, maybe you don't know about her. But bottom line is, his partner, his lover, wife, living girlfriend, fiance, she should be his number one friend. If he needs to vent about a problem or anything going on in his life, she should be who he goes to, not his female friendships. Because what he's doing, he's manipulating you while he's trauma dumping on you. He got you believing that, you're the Hail Mary of his problems. You're there, you're so wonderful. You're his number one support system. It's all a game. He's wearing you out, wearing you down, and playing the long game with you. Because eventually he's going to try to sleep with you. He'll wait it out. He'll wait it out as long as he can. Because while he's waiting on you, he's fucking other women. He's rotating and fucking other women to pass the time until he wears you the fuck out. Wears you down to the point where you're ready to give in and give him that fucking opportunity. Women do not need to be friends with men. Unless you are married or you have a husband, a boyfriend, and he approves of you being friends with this man. And if you're friends with him, you should be friends with his woman as well. It should be a situation where couples are friends with each other, but never a situation where you're friends with him. You don't know nothing about his other woman, his girlfriend, his wife. He hasn't told you about her. Or what makes it worse is you do know that he has a woman. You wrong for being friends with him. You violating. His main female friend should be the woman he's involved with, not a woman on outside of his relationship. And you dead wrong for that. There's no excuse. I don't want to hear the shit in my comment section. You violated and you wild for that. Like I said before, men will use a friendship to have 100% access to a woman he potentially wants to sleep with. He will play the long game with you to wear you down until you give him that opportunity to sleep with you. He will use you as a crutch to trauma dump on you and complain about his problems. He will complain about other women in his life to his female friend when he belongs in a motherfucking therapist chair. Ladies, stop enabling these men to be this fucking way. No, you're not his friend. You're not his therapist. And if he tries it with you, direct him kindly direct him. You need to go see professional help. Go seek a therapist. I can't help you with that. Just know if he wants to be friends with you, 9 times out of 10, it's transactional. You have something that he wants. Whether he wants what's between your legs, maybe he sees that you're connected to a lot of popular people and a lot of, people that can put him in a better position financially. So he wants to get close to your resources. You have a group of beautiful girlfriends. So he wants to sleep with one of your girlfriends. So he got to get close to you in order to meet your girlfriends. He's transactional. The only reason he's fucking with you is to get close to you because he sees something that he can gain from out of being friends with you. It's never genuine. But ladies, if he's using you for emotional support, don't let him trauma dump on you. You got your own problems. Send his ass to a fucking therapist. And I guarantee most of them will not go seek therapy because they're too busy out here using and abusing women and manipulating them through friendships. I said what the fuck I said.
Exploiting your energy and emotions so they can feel big, so they can feel good. Now, it's probably a small percentage of men that will tell you that they need your energy, because some men can be vulnerable, right? But vulnerability is a feminine trait, and most men have not healed their trauma. They just jump from relationship to relationship. Okay, their feminine traits are on the shadow side. You know what comes up when they get frazzled, the anxiety, the fear, the screaming off at you. That's really not anger, it's fear. Fear of abandonment. Fear of abandonment that he won't get what he needs from you. Not fear of abandonment that you gonna leave, baby, because you already know he'll go next door for that. Okay, so it's fear of abandonment that you won't supply him with what he needs. Most men won't even be vulnerable with you enough to tell you they need the energy because they have not addressed their trauma. And if they address their trauma, they would be a little bit more vulnerable with women. But they haven't addressed the trauma. The ego is driving them. Manipulation, exploiting your energy and emotions so they can feel big, so they can feel good. And because the ego is a temporary thing, the temporary validation, temporary gratification, okay, they're going to need that every damn 5 minutes to be validated. And so they don't care if they mistreat you for they don't give a damn what they do for the validation because they're selfish. It's for them. So they don't give a fuck if you crying. You know, of course, if you compliment them, they gonna love that shit, but compliment them for what, though? They not doing nothing to even deserve the validation, the gratification. They're not doing nothing to deserve it. And because they know they're not doing nothing to deserve it, that make them feel real good. They make them feel real good that you silly enough to compliment them on some shit, boost their ego, build you're giving them the energy, making them feel like they God, baby. And they ain't did nothing. And they gonna continue to not do nothing because you gonna continue to give them something for nothing. They're ego driven. They have too much pride. Okay, so even when they mistreat you and storm out the door, you still thinking about them, so they still good to go. You done drove them for the rest of the damn day, maybe for the next 3 days, depending on how good your energy is. I really think it all boiled down to mother wounds. Like whoever the caretaker was that didn't get them attention, okay, they still mad at them. Okay, and so when they see you.
So I don't know what woman needs to hear this epiphany I had the other day, but I'm gonna say it anyway. A lot of men don't measure a woman's love for them by that ability to make that woman happy, but rather how long that woman is willing to stay with them despite making her unhappy. In other words, a lot of men measure a woman's love for them by that woman's willingness to accept their disrespect. And they do this to gain power. The more they neglect you and you stay, the more they mistreat you and you stay, the more secure and powerful they feel. When men and women feel as though their relationship may be in jeopardy, they tend to respond differently. Women tend to take on more of a how can I fix this? What did I do wrong? How can we solve this problem? Whereas men do something a little different. They test you. They test you to see how far they can take it before you leave because they don't see maintaining the emotional connection of the relationship as something that is equally their responsibility. And I think the reason that a lot of women struggle to see that these tests are intentional and they try to make up excuses for, why is my partner doing that is because it is enraging and quite frankly insanity inducing to realize that someone who claims to love you is purposefully pissing you off just to feel secure in the relationship. So like I said, I don't know who needed to hear this today, but stop asking him why he does it. Stop begging him to change. He is doing that intentionally because he is trying to train you into accepting less effort because that is when he feels most powerful and that is when he feels most loved. Listen again if you need to.
You should not give a crap what a man says or what he feels, only what he does. He's sitting from across the room pining for you, let him. He says he loves you, good. Show me. Men are action driven. If they're not doing something about it, it does not mean shit. But they will use words and emotions to manipulate women. They will use words and emotions because they feed off of your attention and your energy. But unless he is doing something about it, ignore him. Starve him of your attention. Like ruthlessly ignore that man.
The kids suffer too. The kids suffer too. The kids' livelihood depends on the mother's emotional state. So continuing to be with somebody who's manipulating your emotions, who needs to play on your emotions to boost their ego, to feed their insecurities, to make them feel bigger than life. So while the man is playing on your emotions, that's trickling down to the children. Let me say it again. Your emotional state affects the kid's livelihood. I don't need to say nothing else. Just think about it. You know it's true. Anytime you going through something, the kids are affected. Like the energy be off. You know that. And if you're looking for a man to give a damn about that, to honor the fact that your emotional state affects the kids' livelihood when they leave their kids. They don't be wanting the kids. So do you think that they would give a damn about that?
Most men do not know how to connect with a woman on an emotional level. I've heard women say in the therapy office and the counseling office, they feel emotionally abandoned. They feel this sense of emotional starvation. What they're saying, brothers, is they need more emotional connection. You have to feed her heart, feed her mind, feed her soul, feed her intellect before you touch her body. She's thirsty, she's hungry, she's starving for emotional touch.
Narcissists feed off your negative emotions, the emotions that they evoked in the first place. They have zero interest in maintaining healthy, stable relationships. Unlike you and I, who just want to keep the peace, they want to provoke drama. They strive to get an emotional reaction out of you, whether it's good or bad does not matter to them. This is a truly bizarre concept, so it's kind of easier to think of them as vampires. A vampire wants to suck the life out of you because that gives them nourishment. They don't care that it's hurting you or that it's going to kill you. They care about feeding off of you. And while you're over here like, why would they want to drink blood? I don't want to do that. Well, because they're a vampire. That's what they do. Similarly, because they're a narcissist. That's what they do. They cause drama and chaos. They blow up every relationship that they have over and over again. That's what they feed on. And if you saw a vampire, you would not stick around and be like, I hope he doesn't bite me. Maybe if I love him enough, he will change. because eventually that vampire will bite you and kill you. And eventually this narcissist will experience rage towards you, and it will kill you emotionally, and sometimes you're even physically in danger. So next time you are holding out hope, remember that a vampire is very attractive, very charming, in order to lure you in so that they can destroy you. This narcissist is no different. And they're not going to change for the next partner. A vampire doesn't become a human just because it fed off of this human, right? They will continue this toxic pattern over and over. They are doomed to be abusive, dramatic, and toxic for their entire lives. You get your power back from a narcissist when you do not engage whatsoever. Go silent. Go no contact. Do not put another ounce of your energy into this demonic being. Don't blame yourself, because anyone could fall for the charm of a vampire narcissist. But once you see it, you have got to move on. If you have children with them, gray rock them. And if you aren't legally bound to them in any way, then get out of there and run.
Don't be insensitive to her emotional needs. When a woman is expressing her emotional needs, experiences, processes, anything like that, and you immediately resort to giving or offering solutions, it can come off as insensitive. There's a time and a place, and I understand why you do it, but please understand that when a woman needs empathy, validation, or understanding in a time of vulnerability, when she's expressing and opening herself up to you, giving an immediate solution is not helpful. If you signed up to be her partner, you more than likely signed up to be a co-regulator as well. I'm not telling you to take on all of her experiences. I'm not telling you to take lead in helping her process her emotions. I'm just telling you that you did position yourself to be that person, to be a person she can lean on to understand and to at least help her process what she's feeling and experiencing. If you have a tendency to resort into immediate answers or solutions, then you also have a tendency of making her feel unheard, unseen, and dismissed, baby. Emotional support sometimes is way better than a quick fix. And if you want her to have a deeper connection with you, for one, start off with emotional safety. Let her know that she's in a space where she can feel seen, heard, and soothed without judgment. No interruptions, no quick solutions, anything like that. And then that moves you to that place of emotional security where she then knows you respect her as a human, as your partner, and now she knows that she can trust you. And that trusting environment will bring a lot of different experiences with that woman, very positive ones, okay? Bye, babies.
That's it for today, guys. How guys normally feed on women's emotions. For example, you're gonna see that or find that this man, this guy, he's got a fiancé, he's got a girlfriend, he's got a wife. But on the other side, he also has a female friend. This is why women are actually advised never allow a man to have a female friend. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the tunnel, this man will take all his problems to this female friend. He'll go expose everything regarding himself, regarding his wife, regarding his girlfriend or his fiancé to this female friend. Yet he's supposed to be open to his wife, to his girlfriend, to his fiancé. And this is the reason why you'll find that this kind of man is actually feeding on your emotions. So guys, thank you so much. Let me know on what you think about this video. Do you think that guys or men normally feed on women's emotions? Let me know this down there in the comment section, and bye bye for now.